Hey, good evening. It's really awesome to have you guys here. My name is Daniel and I was a professional opera singer and did some beatboxing on the side. And tonight, we are going to be reacting to Bigman's The Window. So, I have heard Bigman before, but the last thing I heard from him was Gaslighting. And I haven't really heard much of him since, or I might just have fallen off his bandwagon. So I'm just really excited to jump back into him. I remember his music was really solid, his throat bass was exceptional, and his general grooves I just really vibed with. So I'm really excited just to jump back into his music, and I hope you guys are too. So without further ado, let's do it.
Don't tell me that you still love me. You drive me to a trap that only you could open. Oh, rap can even breathe, bad. App said he was my happiness or sadness. Whoa, may all the pain I feel make you happy and smile.
It's so smooth, dude.
I can fly away to see your smile, but oh, baby, I don't
that technique.
Tell me not to leave make me come Thursday morning. Up like a so to bed for this game alone. Oh, come on.
Oh, dude. This groove. Yeah.
Oh, this game alone. Oh, be mom. I don't wanna go, mom. Tell me not to leave, mom. Make me understand, mom. Rainbow after rainbow, like a cross over mom. To get a drop your amok. Oh, this game alone. Oh,
dude. It's crazy. Nice.
Oh, this game alone. Oh, baby, mom. I don't wanna go, mom. Tell me not to leave, mom. Make me understand, mom.
Aw, dude. I need like 50 more minutes of that. That was so smooth. So smooth. Aw, yeah, dude. Just the technique of switching between your regular voice, your throat bass, and ending that sequence with an inhale on an exact pitch that doesn't sound grainy, but just so smooth. And what I mean by grainy is having, like, when I try to do it, mine definitely sounds grainy of like it just sounds really shrill. But him is just like, I can't do it, but it's just so smooth, and he does it so consistently. For those that don't know, when you're beatboxing, to make each sound that you make that is a repetitive sound, something that you've made before, to make it sound the exact same like you did before is pretty difficult, especially if you're doing it consistently throughout the piece. That requires tons of practice. Just being able to make the sound once isn't enough. I remember when I first learned how to do the click roll, which is the sound. When I first learned it, it took me about 2 seconds of prep, which is way too long to put into a beat. And I still have a difficult time really controlling it, because I can try to make it faster and try to make it fast then slow, but I still don't have total control over it. So and I've been working on this sound for, I want to say, a couple of months now, and it is still tough for me to get, and I practice it almost every day. Just the fact that his sequencing is so smooth, his composition is just wonderful, or if it's a cover, the arrangement is incredible. It just flows, and the groove is so good, and his small details within it is so nice, and on top of all of his beatboxing technical prowess, his voice is just quite lovely to listen to. He has a very nice timbre and natural tone to his voice. So let's just go back and analyze it.
Don't tell me that you still love me. You drive me to a trap that only you could open. Rap.
I have no idea how he gets his throat bass to be so smooth. Mine still has like a coarseness to it, a ruggedness. His just feels like velvet when I listen to it. It's incredible.
Can even breathe, Abu said he was my happiness, your sadness. May all the pain I feel make you happy and smile. I can fly away to see your smile, but baby,
dude. Just to have so much control over your throat bass, let alone make it as smooth and as consistent. And he's just touching these notes too with it. Just to touch notes with your regular voice is very difficult because you need to be right in the middle of the pitch. You need to do so at the right tempo. You need to do so at the right dynamic with the right just overall feeling of the piece. And he just has so much vocal control. It's crazy, dude.
Oh
my god.
Tell me not to leave make me come Thursday morning. Rainbow like a so to better.
It's nuts.
For this game alone. Came
Yeah, dude. His layering is incredible on these beats. Just yeah, it's such a groove, dude. Yeah, and just with his my voice can't go as high as his, but it's such a consistent groove. This game alone. To keep breathing in on the exact pitch, that vocal control, dude, I'm gonna keep commenting on this. It's so crazy what he's doing right now. Like, it doesn't sound like the most complex beat in the world, but the technique he's doing is mind-blowing. And I've been listening to beatbox since 2013, and I'm still blown away by what artists are capable of doing. It's unlike anything else.
Be mom. I don't wanna go home.
And I'm sorry for pausing so much, but there are other artists that use this technique. You know, I've heard Wing also use it, but just the control and consistency and the dynamic control as well. It's ineffable.
Tell me not to leave mom. Make me understand mom. Rainbow after rainbow. Like a
nice incorporation of the snare.
Oh, this game alone.
That's a really good choice for the snare too. It's nothing too powerful, it's nothing too crisp. It perfectly flows with the vibe, just that instead of something like or it's more soft, it's more rounded, and it just fits with the groove because we haven't hit that really heavy drop yet. So it's just nice to have something more of a like a house snare. I dig it.
Nice
fill. Yeah, dude.
Baby mom, I don't wanna go mom. Tell me not to leave mom.
And his retard here, it's just so smooth. It doesn't feel like an immediate here's the tempo, new tempo. It's a very smooth retard into something a little bit more lento or slow, and I really appreciate that.
Go mom, tell me not to leave mom. Make me understand mom.
Yeah, just mind-blowing, dude. Dude, that was just incredible. Incroyable, c'est beau, just magnifique. Truly. What can I say? It's just It's just so good. And it's so consistent, and the groove is so fun. And even though, like I mentioned, the combos aren't the most complex things in the world, but his layering is so clean, and his sounds are so consistent, and his groove is just something that even non-musicians can really connect with. And just that vocal control and that technique, oh yeah, dude. That's really Bigman's bread and butter. It's just, chef's kiss. Yeah. Really good stuff, Bigman. Really dig it. Really dig it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments. Even though I might not heart or reply to all the comments, I definitely read all of them and take them into consideration as I make new videos. So your comment does not go unnoticed. Thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. It really does mean a lot, and I really can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.